to today's episode of whatever this is called. So, to begin, these guys, they start attacking the nomads. They don't know that these guys have made a deal yet. They don't know about that no sighting deal. Anyways, they go over there, and the nomads fight back, and they capture the north, and they actually go through yellow territory and claim it as their own. And they're sort of confused about why the yellows don't really care, but they think it might be just because they aren't noticing. Also, no one really knows what's going on. It has been people have been yelling from the other side of the border. They're like, something's definitely going on there, but we don't know what. Also, they're losing badly. This is what's going on the other side of the border. So, I'm just keeping that there. The prince decide, so what happens is, the king dies. The king is dead. And the prince decides, when people ask him to rule the country, that he's not going to rule the country. But these people say, what? And he makes a deal. I will rule the country, but from my island capital. And everyone's super angry. But they go through with the plan. But then the people who are at the capital say, no, we don't want that. That's bad. We don't like it, and it's a terrible plan. And we never want to hear about it ever again. So then he forms his own country. That's this color. Because, technically, he rebelled from the country, but then the country rebelled from him, so it's like ultra rebellion. And the prince decides that he doesn't really care about that plan anymore. But now there's another country over here with no leader, but the people up here still recognize the leader as this guy, but they realize that they're not going to get any money. So then they decide that now would be the perfect time to rebel, because, if that guy's going to be the new leader, and there's going to be also a ton of war, but he's going to be doing taxes, but these guys can't gain any money because technically the capital is over there, and they could sail from there, but that would be very dangerous. So instead, these people, without thinking very hard, because, it's sort of hard to think very hard when you're up here, they put their capital right there, and now there's a new Siberian country thing. It's not Siberia, but it's essentially Siberia. Very similar. And these colonies, this guy tries to get them, but instead, the colonies decide that now would be the perfect time to say, actually, we don't really want to be part of your country. We're going to form our own country because we're dedicated, we're close to you, so we're like, oh yeah, you're the leader. But at the same time, we're also led by everyone else, so we're just going to form our own country. And they very quickly, because that's exactly what they were doing, they expand all throughout the coast. And because the king decided to use military troops for the expedition, now there's a powerful militant war unit. And they move around, and because they recognize this as the true country, but them as their own country that doesn't inherit it, they don't use that as the capital. Instead, their capital becomes a city they found right here. So now they have their own country, and now everyone is angry. But the prince is also angry that he doesn't get to inherit all the land. So he decides that he's going to attack the nomads, which means that these people, they attack him, and these people figure out what's going on. And the nomads And these guys attack, but these guys don't like the nomads, so they side with the prince to get rid of the nomads. And then, because so many people are fighting, well, this happens. And then this happens. And then the nomad people are in too many fights at once, and they start to lose their grasp. And eventually, to get out of the war, they all agree to be converted to this. But then the other guys are like, wait, what about the pact we made? What happens to the defensive pact? What are we going to do about that? These people say, well, you were siding with them, and, well, therefore, we're not siding with these people anymore, but we're against you. And the lions say, hey, free territory, without truly understanding what they were about to do. So now these guys are angry at them, and they don't need their help anymore, because they're like, you guys don't think anything through. You just want a ton of land. And the lion leader replies, again without thinking, oh yeah, sounds like the perfect plan. So now we have two countries that act without thinking, and one country that is completely focused on military. Oh goody. And the capital is like, ah! So this is very bad. And now there's a war going on, where these people are trying to establish their capital as the real capital because they think that that would be funny or something. They also want these mountains because the mountains that they have aren't good enough, but they're mountain people because these guys actually know how to explore rugged terrain. So they take the river and a bit of this, and they begin expanding onto the lake. So these people are very angry. So they attack them, but these people don't like them. So they send troops over to some very important port cities like this one. And this city is connected. And then they connect up, but there's still troops over there from other people. So then a civil war breaks out, and now there's a little enclave thing. And these guys end up moving down to the coast here. So now this little coastline is part of a separate country. So we have a sea enclave that can't really make it through because both of these are hostile towards them. Sort of. I mean, these people are just hostile towards everyone. And then these guys are... yeah. These people try winning back their city, but fails. And these people decide that they're going to attack the Siberian ones, and the white-yellow people and the yellow people decide to form an alliance for the military to attack the Siberians. Like the cold people in the north. Yeah, those people. I need to stop calling them Siberians. There is no Siberia. It's just like sort of the equivalent of Siberia. And these people are losing a lot of power, and that makes them very angry. And these people are like, haha, we got our land back. And the other team's fine with it. So then they attack this peninsula, which is actually the second most populated portion, which then causes all of them to flee towards this capital. And slowly but surely, they are able to defeat them. And also these guys get more of that river now, so they're pretty happy. These people, they decide that this is too much, and they finally surrender. But they ask that alongside their surrender and agreements to be at war with these guys, I mean, they were already at war, but like to help in their movements and not just attack everyone, but that they would retain their autonomy and gain this bit back. And these guys are like, darn, but that land is also pretty useless, so whatever. Now, these people are angry about the colony they lost, sort of. So then they attack this, but then they get heavily, just completely, utterly, wrong color, obliterated by these people. And they sail across here. And the prince says, oh no. So they're terrified now. These people sail across. Notice these people, they try sailing down, but these people decide that, wait, we'll just give our land to... Actually, you know what? We're staying here. We're staying here. But then they decide that if we're staying here, we're forming our own country. So then they do exactly that. They form their own country that will be alongside both the military people and the white people in the war. And in exchange for that, they also got their land back. They still aren't connected to the country they want to be part of. Anyways, these people decide they need more land and more people. The thing is, because it's a military and it's run by whatever it's called, they have a devastating shortage of women. So then they go over here to this country and they begin a war again. This time they're just capturing prisoners, and they're capturing prisoners because they also need more population because they are severely underpopulated, which makes it pretty easy for these guys to come back and take their land, the land that they took. But at the same time, because now there's less people living there because of all the prisoner taking, these people are able to take back a bit of the land, but they can't get back the port city, annoyingly. Because for some reason, the people there are actually loyal to the prince. And they refuse to not be loyal to the prince. So these guys go up here, and they make a short deal with the military people to attack the prince. Because for some reason, no one likes the prince, except that actually there's mass migration towards the prince's land, because a lot of people believe that he is the true leader, which causes these guys to sell a lot of their land to these guys, where those people are, so then they can't escape because they decide to form a very strong and aggressive border, but there's troops going through, but that people sneak in through the troops, and then a massive war breaks out. And then, like, some random gang that was over here begins controlling the area and going into some other countries, because these people, they do not agree with the ways of really anyone here. So they're at war with everyone, but they also are like, again, like the light blue people, very militarily focused and actually sell military items that were stocked over here to the blue people, and they sort of form a trade alliance. Who knew they would be trading? Anyways, the golds try to take back this northern area, and they do so successfully. But any more south, and the gang meets up with them and is able to defeat them. Of course, there aren't guns, so it's more of just like influential people. Yeah. Anyways, now this is going on, and the military group, some refugees, decide that they should totally be allowed to form their own country. So, they form their own country, which the other people deem shouldn't exist. And for some reason, this water is able to be turned into... That's just weird, but yeah, they control that entire bit. And the head of this river. And this, but they agree to something where they wouldn't attack them for a bit unless they became like the supreme group and they would just go into it. And these people agree that they say, well, we're the supreme group, but whatever. We get your point. But we're taking the mountains still. We need to trade with the gangs. Anyways, now it's time for capitals. These guys plop their capital right there. These guys plop their capital right there. These guys plop their capital right there. And I did all of this on the wrong layer. Said plop, and they actually have their city connecting over the thing, which is interesting. And these guys have their capital there. Okay, that's all the chaos in a day. Done. Also, some random boats from these guys, actually, like, they go really far out. They end up discovering this island. They try to sail back to the mainland, but they end up meeting these people. And those people agree to sell them a bit of land to get to their new colony, but once their colony is more established, they have to give up the land. And if the light blue country decides to annex them, that they would give up the land again. So now we have a very powerful thingy. And these people, a boat from them, is trying to find where the colony is, and they end up landing on this, but most of the people there die, and they all sail back, but the land is theirs. So now the sort of age of colonization has appeared. And that's enough chaos for one day, I think, so... The end.